So how did we get here? Well, one day I'm singing the praises of the physician associate profession, and other days I'm speaking about it as if it was not worth it. Let's go back to the beginning. The boy is originally from Ghana, Kumasi, and this will make sense in a minute. Before the age of 13, me and a couple of friends had a dream of becoming astronauts. But as you are most likely aware, Ghana is not a space-traveling nation. At least not yet. This was made ever so clear to me with questions like, who is going to hire you? Where are you going to find a job? Do you think you're going to work in NASA? And to be honest, I don't think the folks asking these questions were trying to crush one's dreams. It was more out of practicality. I'm certainly not the only one to have experienced this. The thing is, most African households see education as a means to an end. When this end is not readily tangible, questions are asked. Fast forward, the boys in junior high in Pizzerland, and one summer afternoon, my teacher decided to show us a movie. The movie showed the life of Dr. Ben Carson and his journey in becoming a neurosurgeon. From that point, the North Star was set. I didn't know what it was going to take, but OT had to become a neurosurgeon. In my head, it was simple. If this Ben Carson fellow had been able to become a doctor, so could I. He was not any better than me. Why? Because I'm OT. You can think of my outlook on life like that of Vegeta. Nothing is above me. Not out of entitlement, but from the sheer belief that with hard work, any mountain can be climbed. Fast forward, the boy comes to PGT land at the age of 16. I don't know how your education system works. I remember once trying to apply to access to medicine. Because it had medicine in it, I knew, okay, it says medicine. If I do it, I'll get straight into medicine. I went there and the admission tutors looked at me and said, boy, you are too young for this type of business. Time flies and I'm in undergrad doing biomedicine, loving it like crazy. And I do not quite remember if this was a birthday gift or a recommendation from a friend. This book is called Do No Harm by Dr. Henry Marsh, who was a prominent neurosurgeon in London. After reading this book, my medical inspiration was at 9,000. The North Star was further tuned, fantasizing about debulking aneurysm. Finish biomedicine, apply for medicine, and become a neurosurgeon. But when fantasy and reality met, after 2 failed attempts to get into medicine, it was not pleasant. It wasn't pleasant just because of the failure, but because the boy had tied his identity to the fact that he was going to become a doctor. From Peterland to Teeland, my desire to become a doctor has always been worn on my sleeves. Friends knew it, tutors knew it. I couldn't really go back and say I wasn't really feeling medicine after all. I look like, one of these guys that goes to a club, tries to get a lady's number, and when they are rejected, then start shouting, you are clapped anyway, because I'll be camping like crazy. This moment was interesting for me because my teacher was right all along. When I was in Peterland doing exams and I was scored 95 out of 100, I would be visibly annoyed, acting like the world had come to an end and that there was no point in living. My teacher, having taken notice of it, once asked me, Oti, you think people like you because you're a high achiever and you rank high in the class? At that point, I denied it. But looking back, I think she was right. That is how I valued myself. Because as a kid, you don't pay any bills, you eat for free, you have no burden. The only thing you have to do is go to school and do well. If I went to school and I felt that was compromised, not getting the highest of grades, what's the point of living? Super melodramatic. Fast forward, the boy becomes a PE, thinking he can mentally turn a 6 into a 9. That is how this video came about. It didn't work. For someone who has always wanted to be a doctor, there is no way on this planet that I can ever be satisfied with being a physician associate. The lens through which I look at this profession is biased. It is clouded with my own desires and shortcomings. It will always feel like settling to me. I've tried to sugarcoat it, spin it left, spin it right, but you can't lie to yourself. When you sleep at night, you in your own head, you are aware of where your true emotions lie. Your lens can be different, and based on that lens, how you experience this profession will also be different. For someone like me, there is no chance in heaven. If you are interested in seeing how I try to turn a 6 into a 9, click on this video, or you can click this video if your lens is different, interested in becoming a physician associate. It's your boy Oti, and I'm out. Salute!